You needed it.
Chickens you used to steal,
I don't steal no more.
rabbits you used to shoot.
I don't shoot no more. Cows you used to chase. I don't chase no more.
Get ready, brother. Your time has come.
stand up, you sinner, we got you at last. You can't get away, there's no time to play, your finish is going to be fast. Brothers and sisters, come on, get hot. We'll amputate your bododeo and tie your bones in a knot. Bid it, did it down, did it, did it, down. Did it, did it, did it, down. Bid it up, down, did it, down, down. Did it, did it, down.
Brother, you sure gonna get your face lifted.
And a permanent shave.
Where you want your body sent?
Body? Huh? There ain't gonna be nobody.
You can't make any excuse. Go loom, well you loom, till we pick up loom. Swing you sinner, for making chickens elope. You're at the end of your rope, so just give up all hope. Swing you sinner. We'll stretch you like a giraffe, maybe what you would have. Just give us a laugh. Swing you sinner.
And one fish, two fish. And one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. And one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. All right. And a red fish, blue fish. I think the Twitch sound check is good. Let's just double check the YouTube. And yes, we are still watching Swingers. It's good. Let's just double check the YouTube. All right, YouTube is good. And yes, we are. Skeleton Dance got flagged by YouTube because Disney rebroadcasted it in 2018, and YouTube is monitored by morons. Actually, less than morons. It's just idiot robots. And I'm pretty sure Disney knew what they were doing. Anywho, we're still watching Swingers. Sorry about that. I did want to watch Skeleton Dance this week, but I can't. I don't want to keep getting part of the broadcast blipped out over on YouTube. So anyhow, what am I doing today? I have no idea what I'm doing. Hold on. Let me bring up the list. I'm thinking Elf something that I kind of started, so maybe I'll take a look at that. I am making good progress on, I forget what I'm already calling it. Cinnamon, the cinnamon outfit, sweater dress, scarf, hat, tights, and boots. And my brain has stopped already. That's not a good sign. At 6:30, I remembered I had to stream at 7. So there was that. Let's bring up planning projects. And Fallen Learns, welcome. Good to see you. I see CS Bond was in the house. Charles in the house, baby. We'll give that man a shout out. So I'm thinking I'm going to make maybe an Elven Scout, and I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to do. I kind of got a top and a bottom started. I'm not sure I'm going to go with a bow. I may just do like a long dagger thing. Maybe we'll do bracers and boots and or bracelets, boots, maybe a headband. And a long dagger. I have no idea. Anyhow, let me get Marvelous Designer launched up. Possibly, I might move Vintage Soldier up. I'm kind of feeling that. Oh yeah, and I got 50s Letterman, so maybe we'll work on that. I still have to finish the shoes on that. That's probably the farthest along right now. 50s Letterman. So maybe I'm contemplating sweats and a hoodie. Then maybe I'll do 50s Letterman. And in the meantime, I'll kind of slowly work on this. And then I also have this started, which I probably should get back and finish. CC Basics 1 and 2 for Genesis 9. I think I got the 1 kind of fitted over, and now it's time to work on 2. You're doing something tonight that I haven't done in a long time, but I can't help it. 3 of your favorite streamers on, and you're watching all 3 streams at once. And you're watching me too. So that's 4 streams, right? Where are we? Anyhow, let me take a look at this in Marvelous Designer. Maybe I'll at least get the top and the bottom done. Maybe I'll do a simple setup for what will become a bracelet or bracers. So let's do that. Let's take a look at Marvelous Designer. And if somehow I get done with that, we'll take a look at where I left off with the shoes for the Letterman's outfit, which is just going to be a Genesis 9, because I'm not doing Genesis 8 male outfits. I'm just not geared up for it. What are you doing? Oh, you're Marvelous Designer. Okay. Are you done yet? Can I move you now? So let's take a look at, and where did I even save that? I have no idea where I even saved that. Open project. Here, let me take a look at my Z prods. I'm gonna do the I'm gonna launch my everything, and we'll search for the ZBrush files, or not the Marvelous Designer, ZPRJ. We'll sort by date modified. It is sorted by date modified, so that's good. We'll put you over here. There is letter Elf. And I stuck it in the project's Elf. There we go. That's where it is. So let's go take a look over there. Projects. Elf. And that's not too bad. I need to add something onto here. Do I want to do a separate? And I think that might be the basis of the outfit. Then we'll put something on the arms. So let's add a bottom on here. So for right now, let's just hide everything. Actually, I think I'm just going to run it off of this belt here, right? So let's go ahead and hide these for right now. We'll just deactivate them. Deactivate pattern and sewing. Try that again. And Control Q hides. And we'll just add a panty portion on here. I'll just sketch that out with the pen on avatar tool. I just realized this saved where this was. I wonder how long it's been doing that, and I just haven't noticed. 3D pen avatar. There we go. And that's not doing anything. Edit. That's so I want 3D pen. There, I want this one. And I'm going to run that across like so. I'm just going to run through there and then up through here. I'm going to now edit that a little bit. So now I can use that edit, right? I think that lines up somewhere in there. And then I'll see if I can run a piece in the back. So we'll switch back over to dum 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 dum. Nope. There we go. 3D pen avatar. I'm going to start this. I'll add a connector piece in later. I'm now upside down and totally heading the wrong direction. Let's try this again. So that's going to, I'm just going to bring that up to there. Around through here. And is that connecting? All right, let's convert those into pattern pieces. Let's try that again. Am I not getting any love on that? What the hell? That's gonna... What if I edit? Did you just not make a good connection in here? Can I add a point? Nope, that would be too easy, right? Now can I flatten something? Processing for flatten failed. Please edit or delete highlighted lines. That's that line right there. Let's try this again. I'm going to try to do it. You know what? Let's just undo all the way back. Yeah. All right. Let's do 3D pen avatar. Let's try. If I do it in smaller steps, maybe it'll work better. And now can we flatten that? There we go. We can flatten that. Now let me see if I can get a piece for the back. We're going to add a little bit of a connector strip. So 3D pen avatar. Am I got that? Nope, there it is. And then I'm just going to bring that around. See if we can flatten this now. All right, let me see. I think that's the crack there. But we don't actually want to do that. See if I touch the Can I Q? There we go. So we'll get that like that. This will go like this. I'm going to redraw these. And actually, I want to know how long this is, and then we'll make it a little bit longer. Actually, I'll just draw it out, and we'll sew it to this at some point. And this needs to be adjusted somewhat. So let's just start with a polygon from there to there, maybe through here, and there's that, probably good. From there, I should probably go this way. We'll set the lengths on these to say 15. That didn't. That fat fingered something. I typed in 15 and then at last second it changed its mind. All right, let's do it for this one as well. Change length. 15. It's going the right way. Excellent. So I think I can pull this out maybe a little bit. And we're going to just take that in a little. I'm just going to get rid of these. Let's put you there. Put you like right there. That I'm going to straighten out a little bit still. Like that right there. Should be good. Now where are you? You are right there. So I'm going to sew you in to this, which means I probably want to sew this in to right about here. And we'll just let those get in like that to start with. And then I'll just sew these two together. That to that. It's a start. Control D. Let's sew these center lines up. See how that's going. You know what? I think that'll be fine. This is a little crooked. Yeah, that's looking a little better. All right, then we can bring these back in. Activate. Yep, I think that'll do. Is that what I want to go with? Are there any other details I really want to add, or is that pretty much... Well, let's put some here. And I am going to want boots of some sort. I'm going to try a simple profile. I wish I could see the side view from this. Is there a way to do that? That would be too cool. If there was. I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'll just add a couple arm things real quick. So let's just do a. Oh, I'll just figure this out on the fly. I'll do something like that to start with. We'll make it a little bit wider out here. Just to do that. I should duplicate you after I kind of, let's position this a little bit better. We'll just kind of line it up over that arm. And then when I duplicate this, I'll duplicate and flip the normal. So I'm going to do that. I'm actually just going to bring you down to here, over there. We'll right click and say flip normal. There we go. And then we'll sew that to that, this to this. And then I'm going to tweak the these so it's a little better. Right now it's probably, if we take a look at our strain map, it's probably all in the red, which means it's too tight. So let's see if we can get you a little bit larger here. I'm going to say change length on that. I'm going to say both. I'm going to say 65. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing over here. Change length, both. 65. Say okay to that. So if we simulate that, it's still in the red there. I don't know, what if we take you out that way? We're still in the red. If I take you out this way, and then if we 1, 2, that, 1, 2, that, 1, 2, I think, and then 1, 2. We're making some progress. I went the wrong way. That'll probably be good. I'm trying to get this up a little higher so it's not too. Rigging for this is probably still going to be a hot mess. So that's probably going to work for that. So we'll just make a copy over there for that. Probably good. Do I want to add maybe thigh bands? I think maybe we'll add some thigh bands. Let's do that. Then I'm going to do a primitive shoe, I think. We'll do. I should just bring in a sole from something. Anywho, let's just kind of draw you in. Actually, I'm going to do that, take a measurement. 327. So we're going to undo that. Now I'm going to do 300 by, I don't know, 50. Say okay to that. I can't get my doohickey because I got the strain map on. There's the doohickey. We'll put you there. Nope. Cancel that. C, V. Put that like that. Flip the normal. Put this into the back. All right, let's sew up these edges. Let's make sure, is gravity off? Gravity is on. Let's turn gravity off. There we go. All right, that is too loose. We'll put the strain map back on for a minute here. We're just going to tighten that up until it's red. Actually, that might work. Maybe I'll just live with that. Maybe we'll put pouches on here. And then maybe I'll put a knife on a strap around the leg. And we'll go with, or maybe, yeah, something like that. Do I actually want to put maybe a belt buckle on here? That's overly complicating things. But maybe that won't be deforced. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So I think what I'm also going to do is I'm just going to grab this and we'll just duplicate that down and we'll just size that up to go around the calf maybe. I can't do anything because we have the strain map on again. So we'll make that thinner. I made that 50, so if we do 1, 2, it's going to leave it at about 30. And then we'll just kind of take these in a bit. I think I'm going to put it right about in there. So we're still a little large. So let's make it a little smaller. I'm getting there. I want to go with that. You know what? I might go with that. And then for these, we'll just do that. And do I want to put an armband up here? I don't know. We'll set it up. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or not, and what I'm going to do with it. Yeah, I mean, let's just go ahead and I'll go ahead and set up an armband on the top. Control C and V, so I'm just going to take that. And we'll just kind of line that up in here, and now we'll get that to fit better. So kind of the same drill. I'm going to actually make that a little bit thinner still. So we'll take a little bit off of there. And then we'll just kind of run these this way. And did that. Let's turn the strain map on and see what we've got going on. I'm going to make that one a little tighter. That's just a little touch loose. That's better. I like that. I think we'll go with that. I think I'll just go ahead and Control D that. All right, let me make a simple I'm going to make like half a boot and put the other half on there, and then I'll block a sole out. Actually, let's block a sole out first. So I'm just going to come right here. Let's just kind of imagine that that is a sole. I can't do anything because we've got the strain map on. You think I would remember that by now. So the top is going to be the front. I'm going to put that down here. Last time I tried adjusting gravity. So there's a plane. If I run this right now, it gets kind of stuck in between the ground and the foot, which actually isn't too bad. But there's supposed to be a way where I can lower the ground, but it hasn't been working. So I don't know. Let's try that again, though. I think it's in simulation properties. If we come over here to ground, and the height of the ground is at 0. So if I make the height of the ground at minus 10 millimeters, this should go down, but it doesn't. Which is really annoying because I don't want to move my avatar. If I turn the collision off, then that just floats around, right? Unless there's gravity. Will you stop that? You're almost there. Now if I turn the collision back on, where did my ground go? Oh, arg. Wouldn't it be nice if I could have the simulation properties up all the time? But it's in the property editor, so the property editor changes, and I can't like make the I can't make the simulation properties persistent. Is that right? Anyhow, there we go. Simulation properties. Let's play with the ground again. So if I do that, that does that. I touch something else, so of course simulation properties goes away. If I say minus 300, right? And we activate, it's still stuck at 0. Does it change if I do that? No, it doesn't. Simulation properties. Anyhow, let me shape this. And then maybe once I have it in shape, actually, let's turn the collision off. Let's do that. I had gravity on, didn't I? It's because I went to this, and the accurate setting always insists on having real gravity and the ground at 0. That is just the stupidest. So anyhow, let's get that back in here. Let's turn gravity off. Let's make you something like that. Oh, and these things came loose. Of course they did. Why would they stay in place? I'm going to have to put those back. Damn it. You know what? I should just freeze these. That's the wrong tool. There we go. They're frozen. They're not going anywhere. All right, now I'm going to... Where's my gravity is off. Ground collision is off. Stuff is floating all over the place. All right, we're going to tweak that to fit the foot a little bit better. So let's bring you back like that. Let's curve those. Let's bring you... Let's put a point in here. Bring you in a little. Bring you around. Let's do some curving. All right, and we'll do some tweaking. Let's convert these to... Do I have curve points in here? I'm not seeing any. All right, let's convert you to a curve point. And let's convert you to a curve point. Let's try that again. There we go. So let's get rid of you. And you. We'll take you a little farther forward. Maybe I'm going to lose this one and this one. That kind of works. Convert you to a curve point. And get rid of you. I'll convert you to a curve point. May keep that one. Maybe we can get rid of this. That one we won't. Let's convert you guys to curve points. Dang it. And let's maybe just get rid of you. Nope, that didn't work. Nope. Can I convert you to a curve point? Will that work? That works. Okay. All right, Chris has got too many points over here. We're going to reduce these down a bit like that. Then we can just kind of fit you in. I think that's about right. I'm going to do a... Do I have 2 points here? I have 2 points here. I'm going to convert you to curve point and then just delete you. Just you just a hair. All right, I want to do a split. I'm going to do a split, and I'm going to do a uniform split. So that's where my pattern's going to end up lining up. Now I'm just going to draw what I think a shoe should look like. We'll start with a... actually, this gives me a measurement. This gives me an idea of what I want, 252. So I'm going to start with a box. And I'm just going to say 252. And we'll just say 100. I'm going to say okay to that. I'm going to shape this into a shoe. Let's put a split over here. Let's take you down as a toe. Maybe put another split in here. Then we can just kind of run this up a little ways. Let's do a doopy thing like that. And let's just start sewing stuff together. So that gets sewn to, that goes to there. Nope. That goes to there. This goes to there. Let's position these up a little better. Let's freeze this. Let's move you so that you're sitting in about the right spot. Okay, let's do that. You guys are floating around now. Let me sew the back up and see if it stops it from doing that. Actually, I should, you know what, I should sew these two parts together, then sew that together. Or at least just maybe, well, let's try this. Before I undo that sewing down there. If I just do that. All right, that's a start. And there we go, we got a shoe. All done. Not. We're going to shape that out a little bit better. We'll put curves in here. I think I want to maybe curve that and drag it in a little bit. We'll probably pull the back of that heel out a little ways. That could probably stand to be straight. Let me try to solidify on that. I'm going to unfreeze that. You know, that smooths that out a little bit. I'll probably clean it up in Blender. I'm going to add a fold onto that, I think. But let's work our magic on this stuff here in the front. I have an idea. If I add a little bit extra to this number here, the additional thickness, it helps pop it off the foot a little bit further. Also, if we maybe just do that, so now we got a funny shape there, so we'll smooth that out. So we'll work on the toe now. Do I want to just maybe bring you in around like that a little bit? We're going to smooth that curve out a skosh. That's a better shape. We're probably going to clean up in Blender a lot. All right. Let's adjust this. So I think we'll pull these out just a little bit. And I'm just going to maybe take you in like that. Give you a wee bit of curve. Getting there. Let's put some shape into the back heel like that. And bring you back around like so. Okay, so do I want to... maybe do something like that, and then maybe slide you a little that way. Okay, this angle should be like 90 or something like that. Is there a way to... I have to do that with this tool, don't I? And I always forget which way to go. Maybe it's 270. That didn't seem to do anything. Maybe it's 270 with 100. I think that's going the wrong way. So let's say 90. That's a bit better, I think. If I unstrengthen you, you are set to... So at this point, I think we're gonna... and then when I change this, we'll have to redo that. So let's pull the toe out a little ways. What the hell? I did not add all those points. I swear, every time you turn around, it's sneaking in these little curve points for you. Not helpful. Okay, and now that I've altered that, hold on just a second. All right, I'm coming back. I might even have the camera up. Okay, so we got to readjust these lengths. 2712. What did you become? 2715. That's pretty close. So I want 271, say 3 for these. So I'm going to do a change length on that. 271 point, I don't know, we'll say 3. Say okay to that. And we'll just do that. Okay, I'm going to, I think I have a trick where I can flatten this out. and keep it flat. So we'll stop the sim for a second. I think I'm pretty close to how big I want that. So what we're going to do is select that, Control F, and I'm just going to line that up. And we're going to freeze that so it doesn't move. And maybe like, I got to hide these for a second. I can't see what I'm doing. Are you flat though? You're almost flat. I wish there was a way I could just flatten a pattern. Actually, I can. Hold on. I'm going to turn the ground on, and we're just going to drop it flat on the ground. And then I know it's flat. Simulation properties. I'm going to say a collision with the ground. I need some gravity for this. So here, we'll put a little gravity back on. And then I'll just do that, except you're frozen. And why are you, what the? No. Oh, no. All right, because it's still sewn to these. Here, we'll do this. Deactivate pattern and sewing. There we that is not that shape. What the hell? I mean, really? Control F. Control F. Control F. Why is Control F never... And it's not the keyboard. It's always been doing that. Let's change the fabric for that. Let's add a fabric. I'm just going to put that on there, and I'm going to make you like leather or hardware. Let's say hardware. We'll come down here to this, and I am looking for like trim hardware. And now if I simulate that, it still does that weird flattened thing. That makes no sense. I'm just going to freeze you like this and hope you're close enough. And we'll put you back under here like so. Okay, that's probably good. And you're frozen, so we'll bring these back. We'll activate, make them visible. I'm going to do that. And there we go. I'm going to tweak that toe to get that out of there. Pretty close. We'll do a little bit of smoothing with Blender. I think that's in the ballpark. So that's kind of going to work for the shoe. Slacker shoe. I do think I want to push this back a little further. So we'll just kind of grab maybe these and just go back. I like that. Oh, what are you doing over there? So every time I turn around with these things. And the other side stayed, and it was mirrored over. It's insanity. One side stayed in place, and the other side decided to do something asymmetrically. Because why not? Here, I'll just freeze those in place too. All right, let me arrange this. I'm actually going to UV map the boots in Blender. And do I want to... I'm not going to mirror it here. I'll mirror it in Blender. And I'll do some tweaking. Although I have an idea. Maybe... Let's add some trim details on this stuff now. And then I'll go take a look at where I left off with the loafers. So the skirt, I think I'm going to merge this and then smooth that out a little bit. God, I got a fly in here. I should go get my fly zapper, except it's out in the living room. This and this become merged. And then we can maybe just make you into a curve point. And we can do that. It gives me a nice shape back there. We like that. And do I actually want to maybe put curve points on... You know what? I think I'm going to curve these out. I think we'll just do it with a smooth curves, though. Are you still mirrored? You're not mirrored anymore. Oh. So I'm going to back up to right here. I think I'm still mirrored now, right? Yep. Okay. Then I'm going to convert you to a curve point. Because when I do that, it removes the linked editing. There we go. That looks fine. That looks fine. These are fine. What are you guys? Oh, you're this. Let me merge that. Does that merge up? That does merge up nicely. Okay. Put you there. I'm going to take these, move them up here. Take you guys, just line you up in here. You need to, you're going to get into here somewhere. I'm going to get you into here somewhere. You're going to fit up in here somewhere. Maybe you put the skirt down here. These should be merged through the middle, right through here. And likewise with this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line that up right there on that edge, and then we'll just bring you up into here. Move you guys up out of the way there. I think I'm going to merge the front of these together. And you're just going to kind of maybe be lined up on that. I want to just maybe merge that side. All right, let's turn gravity off. Okay, these are frozen right now, so let's unfreeze them. Oh, something got unsewed. Or did I? Oh, I sewed those up weird. That, that, and that go together. Oh, so can I just do this? Yep. Did you do the same thing again? I think the linked editing maybe is getting in the way for some reason. That goes to there, right. And then that goes to there. I can't tell where I am. I actually think I want to move you out of the way. Is that right? I think that's right. All right, now let's see. Yeah. Okay. No, why does it do that? It should merge to that over there. That's better. And then they both merge because they're still. So we're gonna put you guys. And actually, you're the armband, so we're gonna put you over here. And then this. And you're the armbands. Or you're the thigh bands. So we'll put you right here. I think we can just maybe move the armbands maybe into here and get the top over here. And that. We'll just rotate those and line them up in the same direction as the other straps. And those are just going to come into here. And you know what, for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to maybe... No, I'm not going to... Let's see how we do this. UV editor. Reset the 2D arrangement. You can stay over here. We're going to put into the 0, 1. Say okay to that. Probably good. Okay, let's hit save. Let's do some trimming. Offset as internal line. You know what? I think I want that to be kind of thick. Like that. And then cut and sew. I kind of want that to go to there So if I offset you as an internal line, we say 5. I say okay to that. And then what I'm going to do is I actually want this to line up over here. Right? And that is actually lining up in the right spot. Is that 5? That's 10. That's 10. That's 10. How come you're not quite in the right spot? You're pretty close. There, now you're better. I'm going to go with that. This way these are lining up kind of with the straps. Or maybe not. Plan B. Can I just internal line the whole kit and caboodle? Well, that, dang it. There's that sloppy selection. Offset as an internal line. Okay. Can we just cut and sew that? Yeah. I like that. That works. Much better. I want internal lines on these and these. We'll do the same thing. I do actually want internal lines on these. Actually, you know what? I should have. And while that's still selected, we'll just cut and sew all of that. And I want, you know what? I'm going to get rid of remove the linked editing on this. And that way I can select that, and that. Offset as an internal line. Say okay. And cut and sew all of that. I want to do the same thing on all of these as well. Are any, these aren't linked anymore. Those are linked over there, right? Excellent. Are you still linked? No, I broke your links. There we go. Gives me little trims on all of that stuff. All right, let's assign out some materials here. You know what? I think I'm going to export this and then delete it out of here, or just make it. Can I just hide it or archive it? I can archive with Clo. I can't archive with Marvelous Designer. I discovered that when I went from Clo to Marvelous Designer. I found stuff I had archived. I couldn't quite get back anymore. But I don't know. I can. But let me see what options we have. Assign a new fabric, delete, copy, paste. Clone, layer clone, activate. I mean, it's my. I can activate, then I can deactivate power, and then can I freeze that? I think that's fine. Let's use boot. Maybe with the cap lock off. All right, skirt trim, top trim, top straps, bottom, waist, thigh straps, shin straps, arm straps, and bracers. So let's start. Bracers trim, top trim, top straps, skirt trim, you're going to be waist trim, no, waist trim should have an underscore, not a plus. You're going to be bottom. Oh, I got to add bottom trim, don't I? Thigh band. Thigh band trim. Shin band. Shin band trim. Armband. Band trim. I think that was the last one. I do need to add the trim for the bottoms. So we'll do that. Nope. There we go. Select you. Offset as internal line. Okay. Cut so. Do the same thing over here. And cut so is good. Why did you drift? What the frick? Let me try something. All right, now I'll try cutting and sewing. Nope. That is just the most annoying thing in the world. You are still... You're fine, but you're not. It's like something is uneven or something. Do I have a line through here? I don't. You know what? I think it's off just a hair. Let me just make sure all of this is lined up. I think that was my problem. You know, I don't need... I'm going to get rid of you now. I'm going to lose you. I'm going to redo you because you need to be 15. You got to go the other way. Okay, do I still have my sewing in here? I do. Okay. So offset as an internal line. Okie dokie. Control D is good. Now let me merge those. Now if I cut and sew this, there we go. I'm thinking. Did I do trim on all of this stuff? I did. You look like you're a little outside the bounds. I'm thinking. I can't tell for sure. You do look like you're a little out of bounds. You're out of order. All right, now I'm pretty sure that's all in. I'm thinking of adding detailing on here is what's happening. Yo, I'm only a big child. How are you doing? I think I'm going to add little stringers that are going to come off of here. I'm going to put a little... I'm okay. I'm going to put a little attachment thing in here. Then I'm going to run to... Then I'm going to run a couple of extra links off of this. Your stream is lying. It can't be Monday. Does it still say Monday? Damn it. I thought I updated that. Happy Monday. It does say Happy Monday, doesn't it? Damn it. I guess I didn't update that. It's Tuesday. Copy that. Control A, Control V, Control paste over this thing right here. Control V. I'm done. Already Wednesday here. You're in the future, dude. All right, there we go. Yeah, so right in here, I'm going to add a really thin little piece. We're going to call that strap attachment. So somewhere in here, something says top straps. I'm going to copy that. Top straps attachment. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to add just a little. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to extrude a little piece off of this. Are these still linked edited? I'm going to unlink those. Actually, yeah, I'm going to unlink those. Remove linked editing. I'm going to offset as pattern outline. I'm going to say 3. I'm going to say 3. We're going to create an internal line. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to put a little cut and sew right there. And that becomes a strap attachment. There we go. I'm just going to check. Is that still? Yep. So we do that. So I have that little. Where did you go? Where are you? Oh, you're way over there. I put you in the wrong spot. Never mind. The future isn't no flying cars yet. Damn it. Why am I even trying to make it to the future then? It's all a lie. Offset is pattern outline. Okay. Cut and sew. Make that an attachment. Do that. Looking good. I'm not going to take, you know what? I'm going to take, what are you? You're like 10, I'm going to say 100. Let's do 100. 100. And I'm going to say 10. And then I want to put this back here. And we're going to turn you around. And I want to sew, and then I want to make a copy. Damn it. CV. Do that. Put that there. I'm going to sew this to this, and then this to that. I need to move that out of the way a little bit. So I can do this to that. And this to that. That's kind of what I'm looking for, actually. I want them to come across and then droop down, so then I'll do that, and I can kind of get this little loopy thing. I bet they're mining cheese on the moon. Damn it. They're not going to leave any for us. That frickin' Elon, that's the reason Elon wants to go to the moon. He's part of the cheese consortium. All right, I'm going to, you know what, this is fine. I'm just going to unlink these. I'm going to do the same thing I did here down in here. So I'm linking you. Like that. I'm going to do the same pattern offset, say okay. Cut and sew that. Move you over here. I want to make you a strap attachment like that. Then I'm just going to plop a little piece in here at 150 and 10. Say okay to that. And where are you? You're probably way up here somewhere. So we're going to move that back here. Anyhow, I'm making an elf outfit is what this is. A wood elf. Something like that. Sexy wood elf. Put you there. Dang it. Make a copy of that. So I'm going to bring you over here. And you get to be sewn to there. And then you get to be sewn to over here. I'm going to freeze these up. And we're going to do this. And it's going to kind of do that thing. And I'm going to kind of just grab those. And I'm going to strengthen them. And I'm going to kind of grab these. And we'll unfreeze them. And that kind of works, except I kind of want this behind all of that. So let me see if I can change the layer to like -2. and see if it will get itself behind the others. That's what I'm trying to do. There we go, like that. Exactly like that. Now I can take that off. And there we go. I've got that cross that I wanted. And we'll just unstrengthen those so they kind of hang kind of nice and cool like that. I had it and then I lost it. I had the exact way I wanted it to fall. And then I blew it. Just like that. There we go. I like those. I'm going to get these set up into nice big long straps. So this is going to come over here. I think, are you sewn to that? Is that where that is? Nope. Wrong one. I think you get to come over here, which means you get to come over here. You're going to be here and here. I'm going to put you in here for right now. You get to go in there. You are attached over there. That is good. So I'm going to merge those. No, I'm not. I'm just going to butt them up against each other. Like that. There we go. Likewise, I'm going to put those together. This, I'm going to just move you out of the way. Bring you guys down here. See if I can get that butted up there. And then you get to be in here. And I think you attach like that. You guys, you know what? I got all this room down here. We'll just stick these other parts in here. Let's see how the outfit's looking. That's a proto boot. I'm going to clean it up in Blender. The rest of this, yeah, Control S. I should do that more often. I am saving. All right, I gotta assign all my fabric zones to all the different parts now. So we're gonna do that. First, let's go through and give everything colors. And what are you? Oh, you're gonna go away when I get done. All right, let's start with you. Let's come over here and we bring up this thing and we'll just start and apply, go to the next one, apply, go to the next one, apply, go to the next one, apply, top straps, skirt trim, waist, oops, that was an apply and close. Okay, bottom. Thigh band trim, shin trim, armband trim, top straps attachment, And now I need to dump all of these on these. So we'll start with these bracers. We'll do bracer trim first, and then I can do bracers. It's easier to make the selection that way. There we go. These are, you know what, I'm going to get you all out of the way here. This is all top trim. Those are tops there and there. Oops. Best viewers. Yeah, I got the best viewers. You know that. F and A, Bubba. All right, you guys are straps. Let's grab all these strap parts like that. And top straps. Boom. Oh, Charles banned the evil bot. Thank you, Charles. You the man, even though you're watching 8 other streams. You're still the man. You know that. It's good. Let's maybe nudge you guys back in place now that I've got you all gussied up. All right, waist. Somewhere in here, something that says waist trim. You know what? One of those didn't get selected even though I marqueed over it. And then that becomes waist. Bottom trim. Bottom. Skirt and skirt trim. Those are the thigh bands. Okay, these are the shins. Shin bands. These are the arm bands. All right, I think everything's assigned. Control S. I think I've still got everything set as tries, so let's make everything quads. Bum, bum, bum. Triangles. Triangles bad. Quads good. I'm going to export out that foot and then delete it out of here. Actually, I'm going to do this. Let's do this. File, save as, project, elf shoe. I'm not going to call this elf eventually. I got to come up with a better name for this. Arden outfit, maybe. Let's go check Daz. Has Daz got an Arden outfit? I like Arden. Let's go shopping at Daz. Boop. Arden. 4 results. It's the name of a character. I'm good. Arden outfit it is. Is that for Genesis? And it's the name of a character for Genesis 8. Okay. This is the Arden outfit. So here, I'm going to do this. File, save as, project. I'm going to overwrite elf and call it Arden. Can I just, I'll do that right here. Arden outfit. We do that. Save this. Yeah, we want to replace it. Is good. Now I can get rid of the shoe because we saved that in its own separate file. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and export the shoe. File, export, OBJ selected. Projects. I'm going to rename this folder Elf Arden at some point in here in the near future. Garden boot would do that. Actually, yeah, I'm probably going to go back to the other one. There's some detailing I still need to do in Marvelous Designer, I think. But we'll get rid of that for now. Now I can kind of move you over here, and let's just make sure our UVs. I got some wayward. So you reset, fit to, okay, looking good. I can't really, the length of the skirt trim is kind of driving the size of everything. So I can't really make that any more efficient without maybe chopping the skirt in half or something. So actually that's about as efficient as I'm going to make it. Because I like to leave things so it kind of looks like, and it's easier for somebody who wanted to actually texture it. Not that anybody does. But in the off chance they did, they could. I think this is good. I think I'm going to... It's meshing the patterns. I'm not getting good coverage in the front here. I'm going to try to fit that a little bit better. And I'm going to strengthen up these. I missed. I want to take you and you and you and you and Control H. And that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Okay, we're going to turn gravity off. We're going to unfreeze everything. I'm going to save. Then we're going to fit it to the... Uh-oh. You guys are still white. What the hell? It's that sloppy selection shit again. And once again, sloppy selection. I dragged and dropped on the thing I had selected, but instead it decided it would get the thing next to it. Now we're good. And I've got this weirdness has been happening a little bit. If I do this, it'll fix it. I get these phantom shapes left over after I move things around. All right, hit save. Everything's named, everything's meshed right. Gravity is turned off. I'm going to select everything and unfreeze it. I think I'm going to strengthen up all the bands. Oh, I froze everything. I did unfreeze it. There we go. So I think we're kind of good right now. The skirt and everything's billowing because I've got no gravity on. All right, we're going to hit save. We're going to fit this to the Genesis, to the base. And then we'll fit it to the Genesis 8 female. I'll probably, yeah, this is probably fine. So we're going to run over here to my avatars. We're looking over here for G9 base, and we're going to hit save. Before I do this, now we're going to do this. Add to workspace. Load as a morph target. Okie dokie. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Let's turn gravity back on. Actually, yeah, let's turn gravity back on. Minus 9,800. Activate. Stop. Okay, I'm going to export this. I'm going to export all of this stuff out together in one fell swoop. Although I probably... No, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. So, file, export, OBJ selected. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to do a method where I'm going to delete parts and then save parts after I add all the morphs. So this will be Arden outfit G9 base. Do that. Save. Let's just double check this is right. Unified coordinates PNG. If I forget that again, I'm going to cry. All right, let's see how this is. And then let's just put a little pin in this here. Save it as Arden outfit G9 base. Let's take a quick peek at DAS, how this is looking. Dum 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 dum. DAS isn't fitting the. There we go. We'll get DAS so that it's not covered partially by chat. Put you over there. Let's do a file import. That's an export. That's an import. And projects. I'm not going to save this. I'm just going to check it real quick, I think. Elf. Arden outfit G9 base. Okie dokie. Looking good. Let's come over here. Let's go take a look at our UVs. Now that I'm concerned about it. There we go. That looks nice. Ooh, that's nasty. I'm going to fix that. That didn't mesh particularly well. I'm going to go back to the base and we're going to add some geometry in there. That did not optimize particularly efficiently. Anyhow, let me, yeah, let's put you off to the side. Let's go back to, I should remember to kind of take a peek at the UVs before I export out, just so I can fix things like that. Recent Arden outfit, there we go. Okay. Here, let's switch over to wireframe. And we're going to come down here and right in there. That is some janky ass mesh. It did it okay over here, but over there, nope. Do I have any other really janky ass mesh? You know, the rest of this looks pretty good. That could be a little better, but I'm not gonna. And why did you do that? And why are you? I'm gonna add some extra internal lines in here and see if that's gonna work out okay. There and then there, there, and there. Can I just do this long curve thing? Say okay, and then do the same thing here and here. And what that basically is doing is it's just putting a line through the middle of it. These are all the same width, and the algorithm decided that these should be 10s, and yet these ones are just were a little too large and should be have a line in the middle of them. So way to go, Marvel's designer. And this, I don't know what the hell it's thinking there. But I'm just going to put an internal line through here. You know what? I'm going to add another one over here. And we're going to run that to be about 7. 5. I think 5 might do the trick. Yeah, let's do 5s. And that got a little bit nicer looking. I think I could live with those. Put you back. I'm not crazy about what's going on there. What do you think you're doing? Why are you doing that? It's all nice and even right above it. Are you optimized? You are quad optimized. Can I just stick a little line in there? Can I? Oh, it deselected while I was clicking on things. You're going to call it a night. All right, Charles, thanks for being here. I was glad to see you, man. Yep, I will be back Thursday, if you're up for it, of course. Always a pleasure to have you here when you can be. And when you can't be, I get it. I know. I think that's going to be okay. That's a little better. I'm happier with that. I think this is fine. I'm going to hit save on this. All right, let's try to convert it over again. So we're going to just do the same thing. Load this. It's almost time to raid out. A few minutes anyhow. So I'm just going to get this converted to G9. We'll drop it into Jazz and we'll take a quick check with it. Add to workspace. Load as a morph target. Okay. Is good. Let's turn gravity back on. Minus 9800. Activate is good. Let's export this out. And let's save this over the save as project over the other G9 base right there. File export OBJ selected. Overwrite that. Yep. And that is checked, so we're going to get our UVs. All right. Back in the DAS. Back over to perspective view. Lose that. Re-import it. Let's just check our how's my surfaces look? It's a hot mess, but it's always a hot mess, so that's probably fine. If we do a quick transfer tool, I'm just going to use a loose bodysuit. And now let's put some D-force on it. And let's run a simulation, see what if anything bad happens. It seems to be fine. It's running a little slow. When we end up setting this up later on, the armbands and the bands on the arms and the bands on the legs aren't going to be deforced. And just the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate these out into armbands, arm bracers, thigh bands, shin bands, a bottom and a top. And then we're also going to do shoes separately. So that's looking okay. I think we're going to call it here. And you've got good progress going on this outfit. So that's a nice, and I like this little extra detail here. And then when I want to make this undoable, there's that little attachment piece that we can just delete out of there. And that'll be fine. So there'll be a top and there'll be an undone top. I think how we're going to do that. I haven't decided what sort of cool details I'm going to work into this, if any. But anyhow, I'm not going to save this. So we're going to call it a night here. Thank you all for being here. I'm only a big child. A pleasure to see you. Fallen Learns, it was good to catch you. And C.S. Bond has left the house, but always a pleasure to have Charles in here. Let's see who's on. It's Tuesday. A worst case scenario, and it's not that bad. We can always raid Jack. According to this, I've only got one viewer anyhow. So where are we? Who is on tonight? Let's take a look. Follow the channels. Let's bring you down. Infozar is on. You know, Ike was on earlier, but she may have rated out to somebody already. Yep, I don't see Ike on anymore. Let's come up from the bottom and work my way up. Gotta see Lead is doing their talk show. I've got 2 viewers. All right, I've got another viewer. Let's just say hi to Euruma Kid. We'll go hang out with the Euruma Kid, who will probably raid Jack anyhow. So we'll do that. We'll hang out with our good friend Euruma Kid. Call it a day. Let's put you over there. And thank you. If there's anybody on YouTube, I appreciate it. Thanks. Like and subscribe. Yeah, thanks for hanging it. You're still here. Cool. Yeah, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're on Twitch, feel free to join the raid. We have raid calls /raid. If you're not a sub, /sub raid. If you are a sub, and let's /raid, and we'll go over and say hi to Eurumakin, who I think is currently doing words on stream. But he'll probably be doing a Kinder Egg shortly, and then raiding our friend Jack, more than likely. So anyhow, I will be back Thursday, 7 p.m. I'll probably be working on this outfit now. The sweater dress is just about done. I'm trying to get it submitted. I'm in the middle of doing the promos and things. Fingers crossed I get that done tomorrow, and then I can focus on this for a few days. And then maybe we can get back to the Letterman outfit, and then maybe I'll do some sweats. Who knows? Anyhow, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of a Tuesday or Wednesday for those of you on the happy side of the planet. And let me copy my raid call. And hasta la vista, baby.